This is the daily chart on Expedia, and Expedia announced earnings last week, and they were stellar, as indication by this gap higher, roughly um, $12 or so. It gapped higher, and it was a gap and go. So not only did price gap higher, but then it continued to move higher at roughly $5. Now today's a indecision candle, as indicated by this doji candle. Just kind of scrolling out to the monthly chart, we have support down at the $90 level, and we have resistance at the 120 level. And this yellow dashed line in the middle, that just equates to equilibrium, meaning down at the $90, you have an imbalance between buyers and sellers, and down at the 120, you have an imbalance between sellers and buyers. So the extremes is where you're going to find that imbalance, which is going to move price. In the middle, you can expect just choppiness because no one's really in control. Now, what I didn't realize was Michael Burry has a stake in Expedia. Let's get into the article before we look at where can price go to next. So Michael Burry's third largest stock position soars 18% in a day. So earlier this year, the investing world was taken aback when legendary investor Michael Burry, known as for his lucrative big short against the housing market in 2008, made another bearish bet, this time targeting U.S. stocks. This was when he was short the QQQ and the SPY. Nevertheless, that made headlines. And if he's still in the position, well, he was up, but might be at break even roughly now because of Fed Powell putting a pause on interest rates. Nevertheless, let's continue with the article. Simultaneously, regulatory filings unveiled various other moves made by Burry and his hedge fund, Scion Asset Management, in the stock market. Notably, they increased their holdings in travel and healthcare companies, including Expedia. On Friday, November 3rd, shares of Expedia soared more than 18% at the market open, the highest level since early August. Now, notably, Finbold reported earlier this month that Expedia's stock was well positioned to attract investors' attention after recent data pointed towards a resurgence in travel demand ahead of the winter holidays. The upswing was mainly driven by an impressive earnings beat the company posted in the third quarter and record revenue. The travel company posted adjusted earnings growth of 33% to $5.41 per share, while revenue hit a record quarterly high of $3.93 billion. The numbers were well ahead of analysts' expectations of earnings per share of $5 and revenue of $3.68 billion. Now, the regulatory filings published in mid-August revealed that Burry and his Scion Asset Management purchased 100,000 Expedia shares at the 109 level. The move turned Expedia into Burry's largest single stock holding. That's crazy. This means that following today's price surge, Burry's profit from his long position in Expedia stands at more than $3 million. All right. So going back to the charts, we haven't looked at the weekly charts. So that's where we're going to go now. And what do we see? What I see is we have a rally in price, two basic candles, and a drop, right? So, that is what we're going to call weekly buyers at this 120 level. Now, this level, the zone that was created, was just reacting to the most recent pivot highs, which is reacting to support that was established in May. So this becomes even though it's a reaction, it's a strong level because it's fresh, meaning price has never been back to this level since it was formed. Now, it loses points because price, when it left the zone, could not take out the lows at 90. So this is not an A setup. I give this a B setup for that reason, but it could be backed up and validated again because this is a major area of support resistance. So Um, Scrolling back down to the daily one more time, and let's see. What's important to note is that prices are now above this yellow line, which is the 200-day moving average. And typically, when you're above it, you're in a secular bull market. Below it, you're in a secular bear market. So it is the line in the sand, which is right at the equilibrium level at 104. So I think prices move higher. You have this gap fill, right? That prices is trying to get to, and that would be at the lower end of the zone. So look for price to move up $5 more, again with a target at the 118 level. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.